opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of Shaw Cable Systems or of the station. Through our access policy, we provide the opportunity for community groups and individuals to express their points of view.
You are watching Lit Happens, Saskatchewan's showcase of the literary talent of the province. This is going to be one of those episodes where we just shake things up a little bit because we're going to talk more about the blogging world. Blogging has become a huge phenomenon worldwide, and it's come to our attention that we need to showcase this on programs. So I'd like to welcome to the show Michael Gaudet.
Thank you, Wes.
I'm just really pleased to see you here. This is the second blogging episode we've had, actually, since Lit Happens came to be. We had well-known blogger Robert Frankus on here and really enlightened us. But I know that you're really active in the blogging world, and well, we'll get to that. But there's a whole lot more to you than that. That's how that came to be. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about your career and your life.
Well, I'm a working professional artist.
Yeah.
One of the better known mural painters in Western Canada.
Yes, you are.
Done a few murals, pretty prominent murals in Saskatchewan.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife and I own a gallery at Manitou Beach, which is kind of halfway between Saskatoon and Regina. Yep. I think that's probably how the whole blogging thing started with us, is that we decided that the blogging was a good way to put the word out in the cyber sphere about the art happenings and events and activities in the central Saskatchewan, and specifically regarding our gallery and some of the art projects that I'm working on.
Yeah, well, it kind of goes back to what's often said: you can be the greatest artist in the world, in the universe, and if you haven't marketed, nobody knows your work, then is there really a point to it?
Right.
Yeah, I think that's probably how your blogging career
has a lot to do with it.
Stemmed off your artistic career.
Has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, more and more it seems in the blogging world and on internet in general, it seems like the tendency more is towards the idea of sharing. If something pops up on the internet, no matter what venue, that a person likes, it's just so easy now to share it with your friends. And basically, the rule of thumb now is that if you're say above or beyond mediocrity, then chances are it's inevitable that your work will be shared across the internet.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's important for all artists and authors and all creative people to be active online, whether or not that's their comfort zone or not.
Well, as long as it's coupled with being active in the physical world.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not going to get a whole lot of traction by spending a day in and day out staring at a monitor.
Good point. That's true.
So it's got to be a nice balance.
Nice balance. Actually, talking about balance, one thing I wanted to really ask you about today is I think me and a lot of people in this province are fascinated by the life of an artist. I'd just like to know, tell us about a day in the life of Michael.
Okay. Let me see. I lately switched from coffee to tea.
Yeah.
Let me see. No, I'm just joking. Okay. I think basically my overarching philosophy in my art practice is I have to do art to please my own artistic sensibilities. I'm not doing it to sell the stuff, because the minute that specter creeps into the equation, you are lost.
Yeah.
It's going to end up, what happens if you sell a painting and you decide, oh, well, there's my formula for success. I'm going to replicate this until the cows come home.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's not going to work. You have to start out every day with a fresh vision and a conviction that what you have to say is worthwhile.
Yeah.
And it's a unique voice. And despite the supersaturation of information that everybody now is probably feeling almost overwhelmed by, I would argue that individual artists still have an opportunity to say something unique and to be faithful to their own artistic calling, let's say.
Yeah. Now, talking about that, you have done some really monumental stuff lately. I'd really like to throw out the mural that you've recently completed here in Saskatoon, because that is just breathtaking.
Thank you.
Tell us about it.
Well, props to the parish priest at Sacred Heart Calvin Catholic Church, Father Sabah. I think he's an unrecognized real hero in terms of being a patron of the arts on a monumental scale. He spearheaded and championed the mural at Sacred Heart, which is 1,000 square feet. It's 50 feet high at the apex. It covers the entire sanctuary wall of the church, and the overarching theme, I believe, of the mural is working towards world peace with a united vision of mind and spirit, which is pretty ironic considering that Father Sabah and his congregation originate from war-torn Iraq. Wow. He escaped 2 attempts on his life before he immigrated to Canada to set up shop in Saskatchewan with his congregation. Wow. So, don't you think it's amazing that his first priority, once he obtained this property in Saskatchewan, was to commission a gigantic monumental mural? You know, he celebrates the power of visual art in communicating messages, wow, which is pretty amazing, really. And he could have spent the money on roof repairs or you name it, you know. But now he's started off his life here with his church and congregation by putting himself out as a very courageous patron of the arts. Yeah,
and I can verify I have been one of the fortunate people who have stood before that mural and been wooed by it. So yeah, it's got the wow factor. Yeah. Now, talking about murals and art and everything we've touched on, you have quite an event coming up in your hometown of Manitou Beach,
right,
just outside of Watrous, and it's July 7th and 8th, I believe.
That's right.
Yeah, and well, I'll throw it over to you. You can tell the viewers about it.
Well, 5 years ago, we co-founded an organization in Watrous, Manitou, an area called Spirit of Manitou Studio Trail, and at that point, we hadn't opened the gallery at Manitou Beach. Our first year with the studio trail, we had probably about 300 or 400 visitors over the weekend. And so my wife and I thought, well, you know, with this kind of success on one weekend, well, we can take the next step and actually, you know, morph it into a full-blown seasonal business.
Yeah.
So the studio trail injects that, you know, exciting weekend into every season of our business. But meanwhile, we've been up and running as a gallery now for 3 seasons.
Yeah, and I've also been at your gallery too, which is exquisite. Just beautiful little place tucked away in a very harmonious area of the beach. And
thank you. Well, you know, speaking of literary fait accompli,
yes,
we now are carrying books by several Saskatchewan authors, including, I believe, a guy named Wes Funk, who wrote a book called Dead Rock Stars, I think it is. You know, just a little plug there.
Yeah.
And Jackie Moore and
yes.
Marion
Mutalis, Baba's Babushka book,
That's
which
right,
is a national bestseller.
Yes, and Jackie Moore's Saskatchewan Secret.
Which is just, I can't say enough about that book.
She just did a reading last week at the Watrous Library, and there were 60 people showed up, and it was just a great event.
There's a very vibrant arts and healing culture in that area of the province. I can actually completely guarantee it.
Well, you know, it's pretty exciting. With the Spirit of Manitou Studio Trail, now we have 17 members, all within about a 45-minute drive of the beach. So it's growing, and it's gaining quite a bit of notoriety.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it myself. In fact, I think you and I have been chatting a little bit about this, and I'm not sure exactly how this is going to take form yet, but we are going to incorporate some kind of a literary edge to this year's studio trail.
Yeah, well, we have an outdoor extension on the gallery at our place, and it's kind of a bar type of like a bar with a big giant opening that you can stand behind and service your adoring public. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to have several authors, including yourself, I think. Yeah. That are going to do a book signing and maybe some readings over the weekend, and have the books available there, so your public can actually have an opportunity to meet a cluster of authors at one time in one place. Kind of echoes the spirit of the studio trail.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a magical moment where art and literature kind of take flight.
Yes.
Together.
Looking really forward to the synergy.
Yeah, me too. Now, we've thrown out a lot of information here, and we're running out of time, but where can viewers find your blog?
Well, very easy. My name is Michael Gaudet, Gaudet. So my blog, one of them is called Gaudet Art,
Okay.
.blogspot.com. And I also have a blog that's dedicated to the ongoing project at Sacred Heart. I'm doing a bunch of work there over the next coming year or so, in addition to the first mural. And people can see the progress there at trinity2011.blogspot.com. Those are very active blogs.
Great.
They've had several thousand visitors each in the last couple of months.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would just like to throw out one last tidbit that you are highly personable on Facebook.
Yes, I enjoy that.
Yes, and you network and you market your art and your blog through there.
Right.
So.
And Gigi's, our gallery, Gigi's Gallery and Gifts, has a Facebook fan page. And it's facebook.com/Gigi's Gallery and Gifts.
Oh, we should check that
It's
out.
easy to find.
Yeah. Well, I just want to thank you for coming up here today. It was just amazing. I'm really glad you made the pilgrimage.
Thank you for your interest.
Yeah,
I'm
you
here to
bet.
buy art supplies, so it's like,
Yeah.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah. A little promo along the way.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Wes.
You're very welcome. That is all the time we have today for Lit Happens. If you enjoyed this segment, you can watch previous episodes on the Shaw TV website or on my website, westfunk.ca. And you can go to the Lit Happens Facebook page too and like us. So I will see you next time on Lit Happens.